There we go. There. I apologize. So this just to show you, maybe many of you are thinking about, how to work online, and I want to show you that it is possible, that learning along the way. And I am being very brave now, especially with my temporarily speech impediment, to show up online. I'm not letting it stop me. So with the intermittent fasting, like before I dived into intermittent fasting and before I started coaching on that, I used to only just do weight loss, right? So that consisted of like a meal plan, counting calories, how many, the daily workouts and daily tracking, weekly tracking, right? So, and I used to, and I was so into my favorite fit camps. The fit camps is what motivated me. It was what was really fun, and it still is. But at that time it worked for me. Right now, it does not fit in my schedule as a busy alpha female. It doesn't. Maybe later down in the future, it will, right? So I had a few things that I don't want to say they weren't problems. They were life adjustments that I had to decide how I was going to go around and navigate this new way of this new thing in my life, which was I had a new baby, my fourth baby, right? And with a different completely schedule. The last baby I had was like 11 years ago. So it was so different, for me. So I decided that, something needed to change. But there were some things. I was busy. I was a busy alpha female. I have a full-time corporate career. I also was, getting my business off the ground. And then I have 4 kids and a husband. I have a full house. I have 3 dogs and a cat. So I am like super busy. So before, what used to work for me before baby number 4 came, I was able to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the workouts, go do a 5 a.m. workout, come home, hurry up and get dressed. The kids were able to get themselves dressed, and then also went to work. After work, would go for a 6 or 7 o'clock workout, then come home. Dinner was just either I made dinner very quickly, and then after that, the kids handled the cleanup, and I would probably do time for my business, right? So I was able to do all that. I can't do that now. It's not easy for me to wake up at 5 a.m. because I have a baby. And when I get home, I didn't realize how much of our schedules, like the, new, like very young ones, like how their schedule is so like their routines, they rely on routines. So I would get her, she's on a routine. So there were just, and then it takes one of us to watch her and one of us to cook. I'm sure y'all know it's very freaking hard to cook with a toddler. So hard. It's so hard. Unless you guys are like experts and know how to do that, like good for you. I haven't figured that out. We tried and it's wasn't working for us. So one of us has to watch her and the other one makes dinner. And then by the time she's winding down, then that's when I work on my business. That's when I'm up, and I'm up late working on my business. That's why I can't wake up at 5 a.m. because I went to bed pretty late. But it all works out for me. I get enough sleep. So I needed something. I needed something desperately. And if you're here, type in times have changed. Times have changed. So I needed something, and I had done intermittent fasting before, but that last time I winged it. I winged it. I didn't really know all the health benefits to it. I just knew that you could lose weight. I've heard people that had body transformations with it. And all I know is I heard that sometimes it was hard. And I heard all many things. I heard that you shouldn't do this, but you can do that. You shouldn't do this when you're doing. I heard a lot of you shouldn't. So it was hard for me, but I was desperate. I was so desperate. And what happened was my mom had became sick. She became sick, and she had cancer. Now, forgive me, I'm probably going to say this wrong. She had liver cancer, and by the time they found out, it was pretty much too late. She only had a few months to live, but it was hard for them to tell us that. So when we found out, I want to say it was December or January when we found out. That same year, she passed away on March. And so during that time, when we were trying to figure out what she had and what was wrong, I saw my mother, and I was also dealing with my weight. I didn't like how I felt because I knew something was different, and it scared me thinking that I'm experiencing pre-diabetic, like the pre-diabetic stage. And I've heard all the symptoms, and with my culture, it runs like it's like my whole culture is affected by it, diabetes. So I did not want that to happen to me. And then with my mother being sick with cancer, I definitely did not want to be like, the next one in line. So I was determined. So I gave it a shot. I stumbled upon a mentor that did intermittent fasting, and her name is Jen Stevens. And I heard about her, and she was telling about her stories. And I remember they were talking about, like, yeah, when we do intermittent fasting, I have energy, like, and sometimes I can go longer fasting. And I was like, wait, shut the front door. No, that cannot be right. I've done intermittent fasting before. That is not how I felt. How do you get energy? Like, what are you talking about? So, and I did more research. I got into, one of her programs, and then, like, it was a journey from there on. And I'm happy to say that since starting intermittent fasting almost a year ago, like being like this time being very serious about it, learning so much and embracing it, the journey, I have shedded over 28 pounds from intermittent fasting. And I did it with not counting calories. I still got to eat my favorite foods. I didn't have to wake up at 5 a.m. I didn't have to do 2-hour workouts every day like I used to. I didn't have to take any supplements, and I'm still not on any supplements. And some of my closest people will probably strangle me like, ah, supplements. Oh, I gotta have my vitamins. Like, I love vitamins. I love them. I just haven't had the need for them yet. But I'm going to one day. But I haven't had to have the supplements to help me. Like, I didn't have to do any water loss pills to help me release extra water or any of those things. I was able to let my body to do all the work itself, like its own natural way of doing it. So, and this is where I'm here to share with you all that you may have done intermittent fasting before, and maybe it was hard, maybe you had a tough time, and you probably didn't really have fully understanding of it. I'm also here to say that how it benefits the busy alpha female like me. Maybe you all are not like me, which is fine. But I'm just saying that it is possible for a busy mom with 4 kids, a husband, a full-time job, and being an entrepreneur. Like, it's so possible to still have, to be feeling wonderful and great. And the side effect of being a weight loss, right? So here we are. So I wish I could see my comments. I'm going to play around with this one day. I am. Like, I'm going to play with it probably after this and figure out why I don't see any comments yet. But I think I see people on here. Hold on. Let me check something. Let's see. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay. Hi, Tiffany. Hello. I think you're still on here. I'm just now checking. I have to check my phone. Okay, so Erica says, I want to get rid of the rest of my mommy's stomach. Okay. Yes. That's my favorite. Like, okay. Now, tell me if you ever done intermittent fasting before. That way I'll have an idea, like, what to riff on. So, and if you can, let me know what is it? Are you curious about how intermittent fasting, like, let me know. Because to me, it's like, it's the magic of, it's the magic of the health benefits and the weight loss, like for life, for the finality of your life. Okay, Brett, Tiffany, have a great time. It's her birthday. Okay, Erica said I did. Okay. I've heard the benefits, but when is the best time to do it? Okay. Here is the awesome thing about it. Maybe you have already heard about this. So we have what we call bio individuality, meaning that one fasting schedule, one fasting plan, like say like my fasting plan, the plan I'm on may not work for you, but maybe like with different times and different ways of doing it could help. So I know that kind of just like you're like, it's probably a little vague. So the best time to do it, I'm assuming you're asking like the time of the day, right? Let me know. So when I started, I heard about um, that it can reverse diabetes, also as insulin resistance. Okay, okay, got it. Okay, so I'll get back to that. So I gotta think. Insulin resistance. So insulin resistance is related to pre-diabetes and diabetics. Now, which was something that very piqued my interest. And when I heard that, a lot of times people couldn't release the weight is because they were insulin resistant. And intermittent fasting helps with that. And I was told it could help with that. So, and that required another way of fasting. And that requires a longer fast. And it doesn't have to be like that one didn't require like an everyday fast. It could require a 1 day a week, maybe a few times, maybe 3 times a week. So, and my coach, my mentor had coached me on that. So, and then that's when I found out, and I went to my doctor and I got my blood work done, and I was, sure enough, I was in the pre-diabetic stage. And then my coach coached me on, and this is a thing about intermittent fasting, and it's not just with intermittent fasting, maybe with other programs. I used to be like this. If somebody told me that, yes, weight loss is possible, but it may take several months. And I did not like that answer. If it wasn't fast enough for me, I wasn't going to do it. But this time, sorry, you probably see my daughter in the background. Hurry, hurry. Okay, so insulin resistance. And so I got my test back, and after many months, I decided that I didn't care anymore. I was going to do this. So I was determined. My coach told me that the thing with intermittent fasting and with most programs, you cannot rely on a fast result. This isn't a fast result. You will get the result, but it's not going to be fast. So, because your body has to do a lot of healing and a lot of repairing. That's what intermittent fasting does, is healing, repairing. And a lot of times it's got to go in deeper into those body parts say like you have a fatty liver, your body is probably going to take longer time working on that before you see any weight loss. So luckily, because I had her, I would have given up. I would have given up and I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And then, so I had a plateau and I went to her and I said, it's not fast. I only lost this amount, but it stopped. When? Like, why is it stopped? And she said, how long have you been doing this now? And I said, 6 months. I said 6 months. She told me, she said, that's not long enough. She said, that isn't long. You haven't done it long enough yet. And I said, wow, really? She's like, yeah, you haven't done it long enough yet. So don't give up. You got this. You got this. So I was determined. I said, okay, if you told me not to do if you told me not to give up, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep doing this. Right. So, but along the way, I also, with other mentors, with other things, other ways I've learned, I also equipped myself with this journey. I also had so many others that were struggling like me. We were struggling like me with fasting. Some had it easier than others. There were so many others that had it easier than me. Like a lot of them had results like fairly quickly. Like, and I was like, why are they having amazing results and I'm struggling? Like, why? What is there? And I had noticed there was a difference. There was a difference. Many of them didn't have, for example, they didn't struggle with the emotional eating. And they also they didn't have a struggling mindset like me. I thought my mindset was on point, but I found out like, no, there was more to it. A lot of times we'll have deeper things in our lives that will affect our weight, like so much deeper. And sometimes it can be healing with time. It could be sometimes we got to heal with, and a lot of majority of the times it's maybe possibly healing something, a relationship with men. For example, say like the father in your life, maybe like, for example, my dad, he was always like, like, don't get fat. Like, we don't get fat. We don't get fat in this family. Like, don't get fat. Like, or you're looking a little pudgy. You need to do something, or, this and this and this. So, something like that. And then whenever we all heard about emotional eating, right? Where how we cope with stress, or maybe something that triggers us, and the way we've dealt with it before, we would go to food for comfort, and maybe even food that wasn't so healthy, we would go for it for comfort, right? So then now we're having to learn how to navigate through that. So learning how not to go for food for comfort, then it's like, okay, so then what do I do? How do I cope with this? Like, you're telling me I gotta sit here with this? You're telling me I gotta sit here with these feelings, with these emotions, and then how to deal with them, right? So if you hear, put in the comments, things are going to change. Things are going to change. Yeah, Erica, the blogs act as if it's a quick fix, right? So when I decided, so when I started using tools, type in the comments tools. So when I decided, like, wait a minute, these tools that I've learned as a life coach, and also with my trauma informed coaching that I'm currently working on the certification, I completed the program. I got to finish like the paper part. I got to finish the fun part, and it's fun. So with Dr. Kimberly Rose. So with those tools and the other tools I have learned, I finally had combined it. And I was also, when I was in my mentors, my fasting mentors, hub, like there were also many people there that had the same questions as I did. Like, how do I, with the physiological responses, some of these physiological responses can like throw you off, and thinking that, wow, like when I feel this in my body, you know, I really don't have to give in. Like it's just a physiological response. Like, and then also dealing with those physiological responses when the times that we used to go with food to cope with, right? So then your body's got to learn how to cope without it. And you're like, you're there and you're like, what do I do? So, and that's when I decided to do this. Like, it's more than anybody can look up intermittent fasting. And I encourage that. I encourage anybody, to try it on their own. But here's what I'm finding, that those that are finding out on their own and navigating it through on their own, it usually ends up like not a very good experience. I constantly hear every day how somebody tells me, yes, I tried it, but it didn't work because of various reasons. I tried it, but it didn't work. I tried it because I didn't lose any weight. I've tried it for this many months. It didn't work. I've tried it because I felt tired and fatigued. I tried it, and it did work the first time, but then the second time or third time I tried it, like my body like stopped and I couldn't get rid of it, and I was tired, and I think it's my hormones got another things. Not saying that hormones is not disregarding the hormones. Hormones do play a fact into this, but hormones sometimes, like for example, my mentor, I'm gonna give you an example. So my mentor says, like, this isn't a quick weight loss program. And in fact, like if you've done everything, the plan that she provided, she said, if you have not lost anything within, I think she said 9 to 12 months, and if you are doing the things, the protocols, and you're eating really good, healthy food, like whole food, not, not overdoing it, and the things I'm telling you to do, then it's probably your hormones. Then it's most likely your hormones. But that's if everything, and it didn't, nothing moved, if nothing moved, and you did not shed anyways. So then that's when, okay, we definitely need to look into your hormones. So, and that's what I have to say. So not just regarding hormones, but the individual was pretty quick to tell me like, oh, it had to be hormones. And I found out it was my hormones. And I'm so glad she found out it was her hormones. I was just sad that, with her experience with it, she had to quickly just drop it. And she disregarded fasting. And, she, like to her now, and it's going to be this hard thing, like the hustling and always in your masculine to try to always keep it off. And I'm here to say that it's not like that, that this is so perfect for the alpha females, perfect for everyone. But I say alpha females because usually we're the ones with a really tight schedule. I don't like to have a tight schedule, but I also care about my health, and I also care about my body, right? I have people that need me, so I'm here to stay. So, and I'm gonna go back to Erica's, okay, time of day and menstrual cycles, the best time to do it. So say like, Erica, if say like you came to me, you wanted to start it fasting, right? So then that's when usually I will like ask questions like, and basically I'll ask like, how is your schedule, right? And it really depends, like, so when starting off, I don't start somebody off like, yes, we're going to go off 19 hours starting off, right? And then, we're going to hit it hard. No, like that's the first mistake. Like, is starting somebody off with like long hours, really. And that's what trips people up at when they first start. And then, because there's an adjustment phase. So then when you ease into it, and usually ease it in, like when I first started, and my coach told me, like, you got to ease into it. I'm that person that I know, I want to like do it now. Like, I want to hurry up. I want to do it now. I got goals to do. I couldn't do that, or else I would like screw myself up. And so, and I had in the past. So I started off like fasting, say like for 12 hours, and I had an eating hour of 12 hours. So let's just say from 8 a.m. I could eat, and then I would close my eating window. I would stop eating at 8 p.m. I gradually had to build up to it where I stopped eating breakfast, and then I stopped eating the snack, and then I stopped eating lunch, and then it just got to where I only do dinner. Oh, poor thing. Try to be vegan while pregnant. I almost passed out. Oh my gosh. Wow. So yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, so we had to ease. I encourage to ease in, and that's a lot of people don't do, is like they don't ease in, they want to hurry. So it just depends. I was pretty not patient. So I was able to finally get to, we call it a 19-5. So I was able to fast for 19 hours and have an open window to eat for 5 hours. So, and that took me 2 to 3 weeks to build up to that. And so, and that just fits me. So I try, and it doesn't matter the times. It doesn't matter what it all works for you, because we all have our own bio individuality, our bio individual. So it's still going to work. I know many people that I'm guessing here, but I know, for example, I know this one chick, she's a stay-at-home mom. So she eats, I think, from 10 a.m. and she closes her window at 2. I don't know the top of hours that is. So after 2 o'clock, she doesn't eat until the next day. And that works for her. I've tried that. It doesn't work for me. I stop eating, or I close my window at 10 o'clock. So sometimes I'll stop eating at 8, maybe 9, or maybe 10. I have that window opportunity to stop eating at 10. And I don't eat anything until the next day, until 5. 5 p.m. is when I can eat. That's when I eat. So I had to build up to that. And that works for me because during the day I'm working. And at night, I get to have dinner with my family. My husband loves it. He loves to eat together. So I decided to keep it that way, where I eat at night and we're all eating together as a family. And even on the weekends, I do that on the weekends too. So I play with my schedule a little bit. And that's the thing, like, it's like tweaking. I will tell you this, it's not always perfect. I don't always have the perfect 9 to 5 or 19-5, but here's the beauty of it. It still works. Intermittent fasting still works. How long do I intermittent fast? Okay. It's a lifestyle for me. It's a lifestyle for me. I fast every day. Every day. Is it always perfect? No. Does it have to be perfect? No, that's the beauty of it. I even fast on my menstrual cycle. And no, it does not affect our menstrual cycles. I had asked my coach that. My coach, Jen Stevens, did some hefty research, because she was a woman, she's a women and other women. And I had asked in the group, and I said, hey, I have a question. And that was a concern of mine, because I had maybe 2 people tell me, oh, you shouldn't fast on your menstrual cycle. And I asked them, I said, hey, I heard this. We shouldn't fast on our menstrual cycle, that it's not good for us because of all these other things. And studies have shown, and there's no really solid studies that it affects us while we're on our menstrual cycle. And in fact, that it does help with what's the word I'm looking for? I forgot the word. I'll have it tomorrow. It helps. They've did some research, and it showed that it did help with women that had complications with like whenever with like not as much pain, not as much cramping. There was another word for it. I forgot the freaking word. It also helps around that area. Like, it brings it down. I sound like an idiot. I'm so sorry. But the word is there. I just have to look it up. So I don't want to say it's polycyst. It's poly something. I have to look it up. but it helps with that. So, and I've been fasting. I fasted before, but this is the first time, like it's been about a year since I've like tracked. And I'm talking about this app. I have a fasting app, Fastic, and I track that. This is how I track my time, and I log all the hours that I've done. So yeah, there we go. So I fast every day. I fast every day. Is it perfect every day? No. And it still works. That's the beauty of it. It still works. And I don't get tired. I don't feel sluggish. I don't feel sluggish. And in fact, I used to struggle before fasting. I used to struggle with brain fog all the time. Like I literally was taking energy supplements just to help me function at work. And when I started fasting, when I was told that it can give you energy, it gives you the mental clarity, I thought they were lying. So I'm here to say that and I have a very demanding job where I constantly have to have mental clarity every day. And I'm here to say that, yes, like I do have that now. I do have that. And what helps with that is having a clean fast. And when I mean by having a clean fast, you're only taking in water or black coffee, green tea, like nothing flavored, not even flavored coffee, not even flavored water. You can have plain sparkling water. And and we call that the clean fast, right? So that is what is the magic. That is what helps. So I hope, and we are coming to an end for day one, letting you all know that it is possible that you can have the finality of weight loss with no products, without spending thousands of dollars on products, and you still get to have like your favorite food. You're not having to make major adjustments for your life. Like it could still be fun, it could still be easy. And then tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit more about the underlayer, like what trips up so many people. And then not just with intermittent fasting, with a lot of other programs. But that will be for tomorrow. And I'm so happy that you all made it here tonight. And if you have any questions, you can put your questions in the comments, or you can DM me, and I will see y'all tomorrow. All right, bye.